Greetings, I am Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator, today with Pillar Lives Tabletop Games with Azul. I've previously owned a copy of this game, but I've never featured it on this channel, so let's go ahead and feature it today. Alright, so the goal of the game is to have the most points at the end, which you do by getting tiles and adding them to your grid. So the way things will go is we'll have a number of factories, little circles, um, based on the number of players. So in a two-player game, it's 5. In a three-player game, it's 7. And in a four-player game, it's 9. But you'll prepare those. You'll put all the tiles for the game, except the one tile, into this bag and mix them up. And then you'll have a randomly chosen first player, or as the game suggests, the most the person who most recently went to Portugal. But they will take the bag and they will add 4 tiles to each of these little factory displays for the first round of the game. The one tile will always start in the center at the start of a given round. Let's finish setting up. And one more. Yeah. Okay. And we set those aside. All right. So starting with the first player and going clockwise, you'll do one of two things. You will choose a factory tile, choose all of one type of tile on it, and then move the rest to the center. You can choose what row you want to put them in. If you put it in a row where there's more tiles than there are available spaces, the rest fall to the floor and are broken, and you lose points. If you only fill up a row part of the way, then in future turns and rounds, you can only add that type to that row. If you already have a tile of that type in your little grid, you cannot put the tiles in that row because there's only one spot for one of them. The alternative is to take everything in the center of one color. If you're the first person to take from the center, you will take the first player tile, and it will go into your floor uh, row. It will mean you will lose points, but it will also mean you get to go first, which having that option helps. So yeah, we'll go back and forth. So let's say they decided to go with those two. Let's say they put in their 4, and then it goes back to them. They're going to take the blue out of there. She'll put more into the center and just knock out the easy one. And let's say they really want to ensure that they can complete their thing. So they're going to take these, so fill their 4, and they'll be going first next round. And they'll just keep going back and forth until all this stuff is empty. So everything's cleared out. No more tiles. Let's say we, for purposes, we'll figure in that they got those two. Okay. So you will go from top to bottom. If you have the entire row filled with the tiles of one type, you'll move 1 over. You'll score points for the tiles that are consecutively in that row or consecutively in that column. So here, is only worth 1 point. Here is only worth 1 point, and here is only worth 1 point. So it's a grand total of 3 points out of all that. If for whatever reason I had any tiles down in the floor, I would then lose those points. And then the player who took the first player tile would um, take the bag and reset the factory tiles. Now, if you can get tiles into like the same um, row or column consecutively, let's say we managed to fill up this one with blue. So one, one, 2 points. Let's say we filled up this one. We filled up this one with this tile. So we're going to get 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3 for a grand total of 5 points. The game ends, I believe, when someone completes a horizontal row. I'm going to make absolutely sure on that. Yes, one horizontal line of all 5 tiles. The round will end, um, and there'll be a bonus points as follows. If you complete a horizontal line, every horizontal line you complete is worth 2 extra points. If you completed any vertical lines, every completed vertical line is worth 7 points. And if you have all 5 tiles of the same type on your display, you get 10 points. The player with the most points at the end wins. Tiebreaker. The tied player with more complete horizontal lines wins the game. If that does not break the tie is shared. I don't like shared ties, so whoever took whoever took the one in the final round gets to break the tie. That's my house rule. You might do something different, and that's cool. There's another way to play this game. Instead of using the standard uh, preset display, you can do it freestyle. Um, just remember, you cannot have the same color more than once in the same column or row. And if it would be a situation where you couldn't avoid it, then the tiles would fall to your floor and you lose points. Why do I like this game? It's just simple, it's quick, there's some strategy and some randomness to kind of, fairly balance it out. And I just think it's fun. It's so it's a game I can show to anyone and play. It might seem a bit on the tough side at times, but I think it's reasonable enough to teach new people. Now, Azul, as a brand, has a number of games for it. Stained Glass, Summer Pavilion, the chocolate one. There's, but regardless, it uses the similar concept of if you take more than you need, it counts against you. So there's that. I'm wondering what it would take. Wondering what a licensed Azul would be like. What what location in like a fantasy or sci-fi world, aesthetic would work with the Azul system? Yeah, Azul, it is a good 4-player game, and it's not that expensive. It's actually It's pretty good. I recommend it. I love it. Check it out. This has been Pillar Nexus, Ancient Gladiator, and I'll see you next time.